My name is Bryant Fitts. I'm a lawyer in Houston, Texas that helps people maximize the value of their on-the-job injury claims. If you're injured on the job, the first thing you must do is report the injury to your employer or to your boss. All too often, people get injured on the job and they fail to report the injury immediately. And what ends up happening is once they do report the injury, the insurance company that handles on-the-job claims for the company will deny the claim because they say you didn't report it timely. So if you're ever hurt on the job and it's ever a serious injury, always report it in writing to your supervisor or whoever you're supposed to report it to when you're injured. Sometimes if you're at a remote site and you don't have the paperwork, you can always submit a text message or anything just to report them, hey, I've been hurt. The next thing you've got to do if you've been injured on the job is to seek medical treatment. Your employer most likely will send you to what's called an occupational clinic. Feel free to visit the occupational clinic, but if you feel like you have severe injuries that aren't getting better, you probably want to choose your own medical provider. In Texas, you have a right to choose the medical provider of your choice. Now, you may have to go back to the company doctor for a progress report or what's called a second opinion, but you have the right to get the right medical care you want by using the doctor you pick. My law firm has a number of doctors that we work with that know how to provide the absolute best medical care possible to people who are injured on the job. The third thing you must do if you're injured on the job is to talk to a lawyer, because in Texas, a lot of employers are covered under what's called Texas Workers' Compensation Insurance, and that is a state-funded program that helps companies pay for people's medical treatment when they're injured on the job. However, there's a large number of corporations in Texas that choose to not participate in the Texas Workers' Compensation Insurance Program. And if they don't, they have to provide insurance on their own. Now, if you're an employee of one of these companies, you have different rights against the company if you're hurt on the job. That's why you've got to contact a lawyer immediately to figure out if the people you work for, if the company you work for, is a subscriber to Texas Workers' Compensation, or if they have their own insurance. Most employers won't tell you that they're not a subscriber to workers' compensation because they don't want you to know. They'll act like it's workers' compensation because under workers' compensation, you have very little rights for your injuries and you have very little right to compensation for your injuries. But if your employer is a non-subscriber or has their own insurance program, you have far more superior rights, and a law firm such as mine can help you get the most money that you can possibly get for the injuries that you suffered while on the job. So if you've been injured on the job, make sure you report your injury, seek medical treatment, and I would strongly recommend going to your own doctor or calling my office to find a doctor who can treat you, and ultimately talk to a lawyer to see what sort of claim you may have. You can comment in the comment section below or reach us at 1-800-99-FITS. That's 1-800-99-FITS.